Guruve Gaurachanda Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. So first of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Vishnupad Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj, our Rupanuga Guru Varga, all devotees. Thank you for coming. So I think tonight is our third night of Harinama Cintamani, a book composed by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, spoken originally by Haridas Thakur to Lord Chaitanya. So this is introductory chapter. Nam Adhikar Naramatra Koilodan Sarva Shakti Nam Prabhu Koile Vidam. So Naramatra, all souls, all human beings, all souls have the right to chant the holy name, the adhikar, the qualification. Because this is Sanatan Dharma, this is for all jivas. So everyone has right. And what is the qualification? Faith, Shraddha. Sarva Shakti Nam Prabhu Koile Vidam. And Krishna has placed himself and all his potencies in his own name. Ya Shraddha Hoy Nam Se Adhikari Yar Mukh Krishnam Se Achari. And what is the qualification? Every activity has a there must be a qualification to perform any activity. What's the qualification for chanting Harinam? Shraddha. No. And who chants holy name, he is Achari, means he is a sadhu. Desh kalu also chadi niyam sakal shin nam grahani nahi nam se prabha. There is no consideration of desh, means place, time, purity, or any other rules and regulations. Because Harinam is Krishna and Krishna is independent. So Krishna's name is also independent. Everything else is adin, like if I'm disabled or fat, I cannot perform yoga. No. If I'm uneducated, I cannot study the Vedas. If I'm not a Brahmin, I cannot, in some sense, I cannot do yagya. If I'm not wealthy, I cannot give charity. So many material activities, they require some qualification. But Harinam, the only qualification is faith, Shraddha. So there's no restriction on time, place, or circumstance. In that way, Nam, the name of Krishna, is superior even to the mantras of Krishna. Like when our good fortune arises and we get a chance to receive Diksha, then Gurudev gives Krishna mantra. Means Gauranga's name, Gauranga mantra, Gaur Gayatri, Krishna Nam, Krishna Gayatri, Kam Gayatri. So even the mantras have many rules. According to time, one has to chant in the Sandhya, the time when the sun rises and the time when the sun sets. No place, one cannot chant in an impure place. No. If one is impure, he can also not chant. One must face the proper direction. So even the mantra, other limbs of bhakti have many rules and regulations, like Archan. Archan have many rules. No? Even offering prayers have many rules. But Harinam have no rules. Therefore it's the topmost of all limbs of bhakti. No? So there is no restrictions on time, place, or purity or impurity. No? So dan yagya snan japya arche tu vichar Krishna sankirtan matra shraddha adhika. In giving charity, there's also so many rules and regulations. One should give a proper time, no? To a proper recipient, no? Time, place, in the proper circumstances. Or if one gives charity in an incorrect manner, cannot get the result. In fact, if one gives charity to an improper person, one can get bad result. Like if you give to a nonsense person or a sinful person, and they use that money for bad activities, then who is responsible? You collect the sinful activity because you gave charity to the wrong person. So dan, jap, yagya. In yagya there's someone, the mantra must be chanted properly. The place must be pure. The ingredients used in the yagya must be pure. The mantras must be chanted nicely. Proper Brahmin who is learned enough and without too many material desires. So yagya also have many proper time. One cannot perform yagya at any time. So dan, yag, snan, even taking bath, there's rules and regulations. All these, there's so many considerations in performing these other religious activities. But Harinam, the chanting of the name, the only qualification is faith. Yuga Dharma Harinam Ananya Shradaya Ye Kori Ashraita Sava Labhaya. So in this age of Kali Yuga, there is no other religion except the chanting of the holy name. There is no other sadhana. So there is no other sadhana, no other spiritual practice that will quickly give result in Kali Yuga, apart from chanting Harinam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he met with these sannyasis, the Mayavad sannyasis in Varanasi, then they asked, you are so much learned, so much effulgent, so attractive, but you took Diksha from Keshav Bharati, but we cannot understand why you do not study Vedanta and perform meditation instead, which are the activities of a sannyasi. Rather, you just chant Harinama and dance in the streets. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught them, when I took initiation, my Gurudev said, Murka tumi nahika Vedanta adikat Krishna nam japashadai mantrasa. Beautiful instructions Mahaprabhu told the sannyasis of Varanasi. When I took initiation, my Gurudev said, you are very foolish, you have no proper intelligence to study the Vedanta. Instead, you should just chant these names of Krishna, which are the essence of all mantras, which are the essence of all the Vedas. Sometimes the internet cuts out here. That time Mahaprabhu said, his Gurudev taught him one verse, Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, kalo nasteva 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 gatiranyata. In this age of Kali Yuga, there is no other way, no other way, no other way, except the chanting of the names of Hari, chanting of the names of Hari, chanting of the names of Hari. Especially in Sanskrit, when something is said 3 times, that means no argument. You have to accept. So that is the Brihad Aranya Upanishad, Brihad Aranyakya Upanishad. And you'll find the same thing in many, many other scriptures, like especially in North India, very famous is the Ramcharitmanas, that is composed by Tulsidas Goswami. Many people do not accept Ramcharitmanas, especially Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. He said in one place, oh, it's tinged with Mayavad. But Gurudev, he wrote a very brilliant article defending this Ramcharitmanas. Actually, there was one devotee in New York. He's disciple of Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, and he read this article of Gurudev defending Ramcharitmanas. And in that article, and when he read that article, This Purudas became astonished. Who has written this article is a most brilliant scholar. Then he looked on the bottom of the article, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Then he developed faith in Gurudev, just by reading one presentation of Gurudev. Now, if someone sees Mayavad in something, that is not necessarily the fault of the scripture, that is the fault of the unqualified person reading. Like even if you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's many Mayavadis also study and read the Srimad Bhagavatam. Especially there's one verse, it's one of the last verses of the Bhagavatam. What is that? Brahma Atma Yena Prayojana. Brahma Atma Aikya Prayojana. What is the goal of spiritual life? Where the Brahma and the Atma become Koivalya Prayojanam. They merge and become one. That is the essence of all spiritual life. Then Mayavadi says they read all 12 cantos, and when they come to this verse, they say that the conclusion of all the Bhagavatam is when the soul merges with Brahma. Brahmatma Ika Prayojanam. No. But the Vaishnavas explain who is Brahma, that is Krishna. He is known everywhere as Parabrahma. No? Aho Bhagyo, Nanda Gopura Bhajasiko, Yan Mitram Paramananda Puna Brahma Sanatana. Lord Brahma said, how glorious, how fortunate are the Brijbasis, how fortunate are the Brijbasis. Because the Supreme Absolute Truth, Parabrahma, has become their friend. So Brahma means Krishna. No? And who is Krishna's soul? Krishna's Atma, that is Radhika. So what is the essence of spiritual life? The arranging the meeting of Radha Krishna. And in Vrindavan, all four rasas, directly or indirectly, are serving the pastimes of Radha Krishna. So we cannot say that the Bhagavatam is Mayavad literature just because a few unqualified persons say so. So the same way Gurudev said, Ramcharitamanas is devotional literature. But unqualified persons make their own commentary. Therefore it said, Kaliyug te keval nam tu ada sumana smura nar utapatita. Utariteta, sorry. No? In this age of Kali Yuga, there is no other religion except the chanting of the holy name. Remembering and again remembering the holy name, one achieves liberation from birth and death. That is in Ramcharitamanas. Actually, when I was new devotee and I was hearing all these things, and there was one big book, a compilation of all quotes from Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj's writings. That was the first book I bought. I remember it cost $20. It was quite a lot. So that had paid like 400 pages of quotes about the glories of Krishna's name everywhere. No? So in Kali Kale Nam Rup Krishna Vata Nam Hoite Hoy Jagat Jivadanishta. In Kali Yuga there is no other religion except the chanting of the names of Krishna. This is Chaitanya Bhagavat. Krishna has appeared in the form of his holy name to deliver all the souls of this world. So, Yuga Dharma Harinama Ananya Shraddha. We should have undeviating faith in the Yuga Dharma, or the religious process of the age. Actually, I gave one example. This is my own example, so please forgive me. But like, now I'm in Nepal. Right? So, if I bring Australian dollars and try to buy anything in Nepal, I cannot be successful, because that currency not work here. Material example, but try and understand. In the same way, different yugas have different processes. Like in Satyuga, people achieved perfection by meditating on Vishnu. In Treta Yuga, they achieved perfection by big fire sacrifices, yajna. In Dwapara Yuga, they could achieve perfection by deity worship. But these other processes, these are like Australian dollars, because now we're in Kali Yuga. So these other processes cannot give the result, because Kali Yuga, there's a different currency. In all four yugas, the goal is the same, prema for Bhagavan. But Prema for Bhagavan is achieved in different yugas. Like in Kali Yuga, the only way to achieve that prem is chanting Harinama, chanting the names of Krishna. Therefore, Kali Jeev Nishkapate Krishna Samsare Avastit Hoy Krishna Nama Sadakare. So, the jivas of Kali Yuga should be without duplicity. Kali Jeev Nishkapat Krishna Samsara. In a non-duplicitous manner, we should perform Krishna's samsara. What does it mean, Krishna's samsara? Generally, samsara means like material existence. Like we say, like one's wife, one's children, one's relatives, one's house, one's business. This is called in Sanskrit samsara. So we should perform not just Maya samsara, but we should all do Krishna samsara. Means our samsara, our all paraphernalia, our all relatives, our wife, our children, our wealth, our properties, our intelligence, our senses, our body, our mind, our bhavana, means our emotions, whatever we have, everything we should use for Krishna's devotion, Krishna's service. If we want to understand this, then we can read the songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Saranagati. Now, in a very simple manner, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given all these explanations. Manasa deho geho jo kichumo, apila duapada Nanda Kishore. No? Oh Nanda Kishore, son of Nanda Baba. No. Manasa deho geho, my mind, my body. Geho means my house. Jo kichumo. Whatever I think to be mine, I offer you. I offer in your service. No? So all Varna, all Varnas and all ashrams can follow this idea of Krishna samsara. Whether you're brahmachari, grihasta, vaishya or sannyasi, all should act like this. Without duplicity. Means, like Gurudev would always say, like we give our credit card to Gurudev. Gurudev, everything is yours. No? But the PIN code, I keep with me. So we should not be like that. No? So in a non-duplicitous manner, without cheating, we should all do. In Kali Yuga, everyone should perform Krishna samsara. Means giving up all thoughts of I and mine. No? Instead, we should revert I and mine in terms of Krishna's service. I means I am Krishna's servant. And mine, all my paraphernalia, this is also paraphernalia for Krishna's service. This mamata, this attachment is the cause of repeated birth and death. Mamata is a very nice word. Aham and meti. I and mine, this is the cause of bondage. But when that I and mine is given in terms of Krishna's service, then this gives all perfections. If we study the life of all acharyas, but especially Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then especially those in family life, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, not just in family life, but everyone, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is such a beacon, such an example for all of us. Otherwise we're doing big business or doing anything, but at the end of the day, this is all for me, all for my family, this is the cause of bondage. So, Kali Jeev Niskapate Krishna Samsara. All souls in a non-duplicitous way should perform Krishna samsara. Krishna samsara koro chari anucha Satutsang Jeev Joya E Dharmasa. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written. No? Krishna samsara koro chari anucha. Everyone should do Krishna samsara, chari anucha, and give up sinful activity. No. Anucha means improper behavior. Jivadoya Krishname Dharmasa. Give mercy to the jivas and chant the names of Krishna. This is the essence of all religion. If I'm not mistaken, that is Chaitanya Bhagavat. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur also has written many things like that. So even just one verse of this, if we can make a t-shirt and follow that, our lives can achieve perfection. So bhajane anukul sarva karja. What is favorable for Krishna's service, I should accept. What is unfavorable, I should reject. Krishna samsara thaki kataya jivan nirantar harinam korena smaran. Kataya jivan. One's whole life one should dedicate to Krishna's samsara, and continuously one should remember Krishna name, the name of Krishna. If we cannot chant, then we can remember. So hearing, chanting and remembering, these are three main limbs of Navavidha Bhakti. So all these three can be done in regards to Harinam. Chanting Harinam, Smaran, remembering Harinam, and hearing Harinam. Ar kon dharma karma kabu na koribe swatantra ishwa gyane anya na pujibe. Here in Nepal we met one man, and last night we did some little satsang, and we were describing to them the process of Ananya Bhakti. One, Ananya means no other. Ananya. Another name in English of Ananya means exclusive or one-pointed. So we should do Ananya Bhajan. Again and again we hear this. Ananya means no other. So there is no, all kon dharma karma kabuna, there is no other, we should not do any other religion or no other activity except for chanting Harinam. We will hear later. If one makes the terrible mistake of thinking the name of Krishna, chanting the name of Krishna is a pious activity, but feeding the poor, giving money in charity, performing yoga, this is also other pious activities which are the same as the name of Krishna. No, this is a great misconception. This is one of the 10 offenses to the name of Krishna. So one who takes exclusive shelter of Harinam, that person has no other activities to perform. No? Again and again Bhagavatam teaches this thing. No? Deva rishi bhutapta nuni nam yakinkari rishi charajam sarvatmanaha sarvatmayaha bhattekisham guru. No. Anyway, first two lines I could remember. No? Deva rishi bhutapta nuni nam yakinkari rishi charaj sarvatmaya saranam saragato makunda paribritta kama. So means one who fully surrenders to Mukunda, then that person becomes free from all debt. He has no more obligations to mother, father, and forefathers, previous generations. No obligations there. He has no obligations to any demigod. No, like even Brahma or Shiva or Indra or Ganesh, no obligation there. He has no obligation to any jivas. Means we get fruit from the trees, we get milk from the cows, we get vegetables from the plants. So we're also this is karma, we are taking from them. But one who surrenders to Bhagavan, he has no obligation to anyone, to no rishis, because rishis giving many philosophies. No. Like especially the 6 Vedic philosophies of like Uttara Mamangsa of Jaimini, that is Karma Kand, the atomic theory, the yogic theories of Patanjali. Then one may say they are great rishis, how can we neglect? We should also respect them, but no. One is to surrender fully to Bhagavan, has no obligation, no attachment, no indebtitude to anyone, to the forefathers, to the jivas, to the demigods, to anyone. So in the same way, one who takes exclusive shelter of Harinam, also even in dreams, should never look towards the results offered by the processes of Gyan, speculative knowledge, meditation, karma, pious fruitive activity. Giving dan means charity. even in dreams, should not look there. Especially our Gurudev, you see, our Gurudev would never wear any rings or any type of, like many people, they wear rings, they believe, oh, I'm having some trouble in my life that is being caused by Jupiter, therefore I should wear this color gemstone. Oh, Mars is giving me many problems, I should wear this color gemstone. So even many Vaishnavas, we see, especially Bengalis, they have many armlets, amulets, this, that. But Gurudev never liked to see any of those things on any of his disciples. Guru Maharaj would say, because these 9 planets, the Navagraha, that control the different aspects of creation, like the sun, the moon, Jupiter, Mars, all these things, Saturn, etc., Rahu, Ketu. But these all 9 are also, ultimately, they're not independent. They also work according to the jurisdiction under the power of Bhagavan. So one who takes shelter of Bhagavan, these Navagrahas, all these astrological things have no power, no hold on them. Swatantra Swagyan Anya na Pujibat. Therefore, knowing that Krishna is the independent Lord, one should not worship anyone else except him. Now, many people may call this fanaticism, right? Famous word. Today someone said, oh, we are religious fanatics. But actually, if you look in the dictionary, fanatic means excess enthusiasm. And enthusiasm can never be excessive. That much enthusiasm you have for something, that much you'll dedicate towards achieving that goal. No? So, what's the word? Linguistically, fanatic is not a bad thing. But ultimately, the Vaishnavas are the only ones who are not fanatics. No, fanatic means generally one sect, one sectarian thought, one restricted concept. No? Only my group, my family, my religion, my color of my skin, my social class. So who in this world is not a sectarian? Everything we do, my family, my sex, my sexual preference, my economic situation. Everyone is in their own little sect. Everyone. But only the Vaishnavas are fully free from all these sectarian viewpoints. Therefore, Modi, the Prime Minister, actually everyone, they said, what is Sanatan Dham? There's a nice term, Vasudev Kutumbakam. Kutumba means a big pot. Kutumba. So, family. So Vasudev Kutumbakam. We say everyone is in the pot. Everyone is contained. Everyone is in the family of Vasudev. So actually the only ones who are not sectarian, that is the Vaishnava religion. Because we see everyone and everything connected to Krishna. Like when Mother Yasoda looked in the mouth of Krishna, what did she see? She saw the entire creation, not just one universe, unlimited universes. In other words, everything is in Krishna. So to give up Krishna and accept something as separate, that is sectarianism, that is fanaticism. So who accepts Krishna can never be sectarian, can never be fanatic. They're actually they're the actual only universal religion. The universal thinkers. Because they see everyone and everything connected with Krishna. Apart from Krishna, there is no other existence. Yes, therefore, you can see these truths as we study Sambandha, Abhidaya and Prayojan. Especially in the study of Sambandha Gyan, all this knowledge is given. Whether spiritual, whether material, or whether the Tatastha, the Jivas, all are the creations of the Shakti of Bhagavan. So whether matter, whether it's material or conscious or supreme conscious, everything is connected with Him. There is nothing separate or independent from Him. So how can the Vaishnavas be sectarian? Therefore, with this understanding, there's no need to worship anyone or anything else. Rishikesh Govinda Seva Na Puji Deva Deva, Narottam Thakur has said in Prem Bhakti Chandrika, those who worship Rishikesh Govinda and are serving him, there is no need of that Vaishnava to worship or serve any other demigod or demigoddess. Because the Vaishnavas, even like we also fast on Shivaratri, we also follow on. We also worship Maya, Durga in the form of Yoga Maya. But we also, even if we worship them as Vaishnavas. No? So that is not against the principle of Ananya Bhakti. Kuribe, Krishna Prem, Labtar Avasha Huibe. One should always chant Krishna's names. Bhakta Seva Satata Kuribe, always serve the Vaishnavas. No? Even if we cannot be with the Vaishnavas, still everything we do, we should perform with the mood, I am the servant. Why I do my Gayatri mantras, Gurudev told me, this is my Guru Seva. Why I have to chant a fixed number of Harinam every day, because Gurudev has instructed. So even our Krishna bhajan, we should also do with the mood of Guru Seva. It said the 9 limbs of bhakti, where Bhagavan is the Visaya or object, then the 9 limbs of bhakti may also be done with Bhakta or Vaishnava as the object as well. Yeah? Like Shravan, we can hear about the Vaishnavas. Kirtan, we can do Kirtan of the Vaishnavas. Smaran, we can remember the Vaishnavas. Vandanam, we can offer prayers of the Vaishnavas. Archanam, we also do Guru Puja. We also do Archan to the Vaishnavas and Gurudev. So, no, Atmanavedanam, Sakyam, Dasyam, all these 9 limbs of devotion can also be done in relationship to Asray Vigraha. That is Gurudev or the Vaishnavas. We should not think just Krishna is the object of service, but I was reading the other day, very wonderful thing Gurudev said in Bhajan Rahasya. Vishaya and Asray are both objects of service. So Krishna Bhakta Seva Satata Kuribe. Always do Krishna bhajan and always serve the Vaishnavas. Krishna Prem Labtara Vasya Huibe. Definitely that person will attain Krishna Prem. So who is speaking all these beautiful instructions? This is Namacharya Haridas Thakur. Haridas Khande Prabhu Charana Puriya Nam Anurag Mage Charana Dariya. So Haridas Thakur is speaking all these things to Lord Chaitanya, because Lord Chaitanya has ordered him to. Therefore, falling at the feet of Haridas Thakur fell at the feet of Lord Chaitanya and begged from him the gift, the benediction of Nam Ruchi, Anurag, or attachment to Krishna's name. Sometimes people would say to Gurudev, Gurudev, I have no taste in Krishna now, the name of Krishna. Then Gurudev would become a little stunned and say, you think the high thing like this should be so easily attained? Because Krishna, there is nothing superior to Harinam. So there is no spiritual goal higher than attachment to the names of Krishna. So that is the highest thing. So we should not think it will come without some effort on our behalf. Haridas Pore Bhaktivinoda Jahar Harinam Cintamani Jivanatar. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says this. Haridas, falling in the feet of Haridas Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also prays for the jewel-like name of Krishna. Okay, so this 3rd chapter is all about Namabhas. Actually, I read this chapter, I've become so much astonished. We were saying last night there are 3 stages of chanting. One is Namaparad, when one chants with misconception. There is Sudanam, when one chants with pure Sambandha Gyan, pure attachment to Krishna. And lastly there is Namabhas, which is between these 2 first and 3rd stages. There is a middle stage called Namabhas. and so much we talked about it last night. But here is a more extensive description of Namabhas. So the holy name is always pure like the sun. Anartha means also unwanted things. There are 4 types. So the holy name is like the sun, but Anartha is like a cloud covering the sun. So there are 4 types of Anarthas. If you read Madhurya Kadambini, Bhajana Hasya, there is very nice descriptions of these 4 Anartha. The first, which is not mentioned here, strangely enough, the first is Brahm. The second is Hridoy Durbalya. Weak. Brahm means misconception. Brahm means misconception. Hridoy Durbalya means weakness of heart. Asat Trishna means attachment for useless things. Many times we're attached to things with completely no value at all. And last is Aparad. These 4 Anarthas. Anartha means which is the opposite of spiritual wealth. Anartha. So, Anartho Pasanam Shakshat Bhakti Yoga Adoksita. One becomes free from Anarthas by performing service to Lord Vishnu, service to Krishna. So these 4 Anarthas also each have 4 divisions. So let's try and remember them. The first is Surup Brahm, misconception of Surup, of the identity. Misconception about the identity surrounding the individual soul. Misconception surrounding the identity of Krishna. Misconception concerning the goal of life and how to achieve it. Sadhana, Sadhya, Surup Brahm. And lastly, Bhakt Burud Surup Brahm. Misconception regarding what is unfavorable for Krishna's devotion. Okay. Then there is Aparad to Krishna's name, Aparad to Krishna's Surup, in the form of deity worship. Especially you have deities, there's many things that must be avoided if one wants to achieve any result in worshipping the deity. So Nama Aparad, offense to the holy name, offense to Krishna himself, offense to Vaishnavas. Anyway, offense to the other jivas. Like unnecessarily we should not give pain and distress to anyone, because Krishna is in the heart of everyone and everything. So that also not affect Krishna, but it's also considered aparad. Especially jivahimsa. We will hear about this. So we should not offend any jiva. Then there is asat trishna, attachment, thirst for material things. Asat trishna of 4 types. Desire for enjoyment in this world. Then desire for material enjoyment in the next world, that means the heavenly planets. Desires for liberation and desires for yogic perfection. These 4 are called asat trishna, thirst for material enjoyment. And lastly, hridaya daurbalya, weakness of heart. I always forget these 4. But one of them is jivahimsa, committing violence to the jivas, like killing fish and chickens and eating them. Unnecessarily giving pain to any human being or any animal. This is jivahimsa. Kutinati, duplicitous behavior. We should not be duplicitous inside and outside. We should be the same person. So jivahimsa, kutinati. Then there's also, what's it called? Like criticizing people, fault finding, criticizing. That's all combined. So it's 16 unwanted things. This is called Anartha. So one should become free from these things. No? So here, Namabas Bujale Nam Shuddha Habe Anayas Jivanam Gune Tariyabe. One who understands this science of Namabas. Namabas, remember, means shadow of the holy name. One who understands Namabas, only that person can chant the pure name of Krishna. So it's not a useless topic. By the mercy of Anayasi Jivanam Guna Tariyabe, who chants Namabas continuously, will become free from all offenses and gradually chant the pure names of Krishna. Nam Sujasam Nashe Maya Andaka Meg Kujai Teke Nam Dake Bar Bar. Again and again we're hearing this. The sun, that is Krishna, Krishna's name, form, qualities and pastimes. This is the sun which destroys the clouds of ignorance, the darkness of ignorance. However, again and again, these clouds come and cover the sun. Actually, they do not cover the sun, they cover our vision of the sun. Because Krishna is Vishuddha Sattva, he is not touched by Maya or Tamagun or anything. But if we make offenses, these clouds, we cannot see him. Like someone has cataract on the eyes, have eyes but cannot see. No, so Jiver Agyan are Anartha Shakal. So the ignorance and Anarthas, these are like clouds which appear to cover the sun. No? Namare ye chit surup thayi nahi jani ese agya kujha tike andakara ani. When the soul does not understand the spiritual nature of the name of Krishna, this misunderstanding, this ignorance is like a fog which brings darkness and confusion. Krishnere sarveshwa bori nahi janiye nana dev pujik karma barjik brahma se. Anyone who does not know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they will worship many, many demigods. Especially here in Nepal, my goodness, no? Everyone worshipping Durga, everyone worshipping Ganesh, most of the people worshipping Shankar, but no one worshipping Bhagavan Krishna. No? Why? Because they cannot understand what is tattva. Last night we talked about this, two types of vyavaran, right? Remember, two types of division. One is syllables and one is tattva. So not understanding Krishna is supreme, then many, many other things they are worshipping. So in simple language, what is the cause of not understanding Krishna's name? That is lack of relationship, lack of sambandha. Who does not know Krishna, that person will worship many, many demigods. In this way he becomes absorbed in karma and remains in material existence. Because what the demigods can give, only things of this world and nothing more. So, in the beginning of the class we talked about the four anarthas, and here Bhaktivinoda is describing the four types of Brahm. So already Krishna Surup Brahm described. Jiva Chit Surup Bari Nahiya Gyan Maya Jadashreta Shatata Agyan. Someone who doesn't understand their own spiritual nature, I'm not this body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the senses. A person whose own spiritual identity is covered from themselves, they take shelter of Maya. Like 99, who are you? Everyone thinks I am this body. One devotee was saying, he was preaching to one girl, and he was saying to the girl, you are not the body, you are not the body. Then the girl was shocked, and she said, if I'm not this body, then whose body am I? No, even many, many religions, I don't want to point the finger too much, but like especially Mormon, even Christianity, Judaism, no clear understanding of the difference between the soul and the body. Like the Jehovah's, I was talking to one Jehovah's Witness, and all Christians pretty much believe more or less the same thing. They believe this body is resurrected. No. They believe in resurrection of the body. No. They cannot understand the difference between the body and the soul. So the Jehovah's Witnesses, they believe that this body becomes immortal. This body is and Christians and Jews believe the same thing. Like when I went to Israel, there was a huge ceremony, a huge cemetery, and all Jews want to be buried in that cemetery because they believe when the Messiah comes, the resurrection occurs here. So they believe this body will be resurrected. Even in Islam, more or less they believe, like the men believe, if I worship Allah, I will go to heaven and there I will have unlimited sexual enjoyment. Meaning the idea I will be a man, this body is still there. And the women, if they achieve perfection, they will go and also become maidservants there. So, even many people who practice religion but who understands nicely you are not the body. And even understanding I am not this body, I am the soul is not enough. Naiskaramam api achyuta bhava vajitam, sorry. Narad Muni said to Vyasadeva, only knowledge of Naiskaramam api achyuta bhava vajitam, only knowledge of the soul being free from all material connection, this has no beauty, no sweetness without knowledge of achyuta bhava vajitam, without knowledge of the bhav, the mood towards Krishna, achyuta. So I am not the body is not enough. We should also know that soul also has a relation with Krishna. But apart from the Vaishnavas in this world, who has that knowledge? No one at all. So Jiv Chit Sarup Body Nahiya Gyan, if one does not know Chit Sarup, the soul is beyond matter, the soul is eternal. If one does not know that, then they take shelter of Maya, Maya Jala Shrita Shatata Gyan, and always remain covered in ignorance. So, we are very fortunate to hear these teachings, very, very fortunate. Tabi Haridas Bole Ag Amidanya. I think Lord Chaitanya is speaking here. Let's see. Lord Chaitanya is speaking these words. Sorry. Sometimes Haridas Thakur is speaking, sometimes Lord Chaitanya is speaking. So Lord Chaitanya is saying, I will explain to you this science of Namabhas. One who understands this science of Namabhas will very quickly chant the pure holy names. No? The name of Krishna is like the sun, but ignorance is like clouds which cover the vision of the sun. And Lord Chaitanya is speaking all these things from his own mouth. Why? Even though Haridas Thakur is Namacharya, at the end of the day, Sankirtaneka Pitaro Kamalaya Taksho, Lord Chaitanya is the father of the Sankirtan movement. That means Haridas Thakur, Rupa and Sanatana are his sons. But Lord Chaitanya is the father. So Lord Chaitanya himself speaking these things because he is Nami and Nam is same. Therefore, who knows the Nam more than Nam? Haridas Thakur said, I am very fortunate to hear all these things. Krishna Ji Prabhu Das Jaratmika Maya. Krishna and the soul, they are master and servants. They are the only conscious things in this world. Jaratmaka Maya, everything else is material, unconscious Maya. Yene Jnane Ta Sire Agyachaya. When one does not know this, he is covered by ignorance. Asat Krishna Hriday Durbalya Aparad Anate E Sab Me Guru Kore Bada. These anarthas cover the sun of the name of Krishna. What are these anarthas? We've discussed already. Asat Trishna, attachment for useless things. Hriday Durbalya, weakness of heart. Aparad, and not mentioned here, but Surubram, already discussed in this chapter. When these clouds block the sun-like name of Krishna, it is called Namabas. However, the name of Krishna is never covered, only the chanter is covered. Therefore, the holy name is perceived differently, whether the chanter is in the stage of Namaparad. The holy name is perceived differently for one who is in the stage of Namabas, and the holy name is properly perceived by those in the stage of Shuddhanam or Premanam. Okay. As long as we do not understand the relationship with Krishna, the soul will take shelter of Namabas. No? The Mayavadis also chant Krishna, Krishna. No? But because they do not believe that they are the servants of Krishna, they achieve what? Liberation from birth and death, but not more than that. No? So, when these anarthas are gone, then the sun-like holy name shines very brightly. To a devotee who is chanting with relationship, the name bestows prema upon them. Sadguru Sambandha Gyan Koriyarpan Abhiderup Korena Nam Anushilan. Sadguru means who is Guru, who gives this relationship, who gives this knowledge. Therefore, only Vaishnava has real right to be Guru. It said a Vaishnav Guru Nashat. If one is not a Vaishnav, he has no right to be Guru. No? A Vaishnav Guru Nashat. Because only Vaishnav Guru gives this knowledge. You are Krishna's Das, Krishna's servant. How Gurudev gives this knowledge? Through mantra, through Harinam, through Harikatha, through his blessings. At that time, the holy name is at that time Guru instructs the disciple to perform Abhideya. Abhideya means practice. Abhideya. Mahaprabhu's teaching is three types. Sambandha Abhidan, Sambandha Bhagavan, Abhideya Bhakti Hoy, Krishna Prem Prayojan, Veda Tritattva Koi. The Vedas discuss three things, three subject matters. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. In this one chapter of this little book, Harinam Cintamani, very easily you can understand Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. What is the Sambandha? I am Krishna's servant. What is the Abhideya? Means if I have a relationship with someone, I should act according to that relationship. That is called Abhideya. Like, for example, husband and wife. Wife has relation with the husband. According to that relationship, she will behave in a certain manner. The husband will also behave with the wife in a certain manner according to relationship. The children will also behave towards the parents in a certain manner. The parents will behave towards children in a certain manner. So this, according to relationship, how we act, this is called Abhideya. So if Krishna is if I am Krishna's servant and Krishna is my master, what are my activities? My activities are service, bhakti. So when Guru gives Sambandha, relationship, then he gives Abhideya. Chant the holy names. Just like you tell someone, chant Hare Krishna. They will never chant Hare Krishna unless they realize their Sambandha, their relation with Krishna. And if we do not keep in association with the sadhus, we may also forget. So Gurudev, what does Gurudev do? He gives mala. He gives mantra. Chant Harinam. That is Abhideya. Then by chanting holy name, the sun of the holy name evaporates all these clouds. Destroys all ignorance. Prayojan Tattva Tabidan Pramadan Prapt Prem Jivakori Nam Sankirtan. The holy name gives also Prayojan. So the devotee chants the holy name, that is Abhidheya. Then the holy name bestows prema, which is the ultimate goal of life. So holy Harinam is there in all stages. Sambandha, Abhidheya and Prayojan. Holy name is there in all stages. At that time the soul becomes full of bliss and chants the name with ecstasy. Therefore Sadguru Charanji Shraddha Sahaka. Therefore we should always keep faith in Gurudev and Vaishnavas. Why? Because we first heard this knowledge from them. How can we neglect them? Like even there are 6 types of gurus. Like Krishna himself, Chaitya Guru, Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, Bhajan Guru, Shravan Guru. But there's also one guru called Vatma Pradaksh, who first brings us in connection with his teachings. That is the Vatma Pradaksh Guru. We cannot neglect him also. Always we have to be grateful. If we become ungrateful, then that knowledge they gave will disappear. Like Gurudev had one disciple from Venezuela, and he disappeared for many years. Then he came back and he was crying, Gurudev, I cannot chant, I cannot remember the Diksha mantras, I cannot do anything. And Gurudev said, yes, because it all came from me. So when you left me, everything left you. Everything disappeared from you. And we see those persons who begin finding fault in Gurudev, then all their practices cease. So we will talk more about this. It's all coming up connection. What are the 10 offenses to the holy name? The first one is Guru Avagya, neglecting the spiritual master. So this book, Harinam Cintamani, is the medicine for destroying these 10 types of Nam Aparad. Okay, sometimes we think, these are very basic teachings, but these teachings are never basic. These teachings are so much exalted and so much higher. Okay, Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Go Premanandi.